Hello everyone. In this video we will learn to solve a very interesting problem which is sort elements by frequency, or some people also call it as frequency sort. Right. So what the problem states is that you have been given an integer array, right, that contains some integer elements. After that you need to sort it on the basis of frequency. Right. Now what I mean by that is, so in this array we have 2 is appearing 2 times, 5 is appearing 2 times, 8 is appearing 3 times, and 6 is appearing 1 time. So out of these, it asks to like print the element which is occurring most number of times, or which is most frequent first, right? So 8 is, we know 8 is coming the larger number of times, which is 3 times out of all these. So I just print 8 first, right? Over there you can see in the output it's 8. Now you will say that okay, so 2 and 5 both are occurring the same number of times, so which one I should print first? So then in case the problem asks us to print the smallest element first, right? Out of 2 and 5, which is the smaller? 2 is smaller, right? So then I kept 2 first. After that I just kept 5, and then 6, because 6 is appearing the least number of times, right? So that's what all problem states, right? Just you need to sort the array on the basis of frequency. Now we understood the problem and what all the frequency means and all, right? Now how should I approach this problem, right? So let's do some identification of the problem, then that where we should reach, right? Which data structure I should use. One, just simply looking at the problem, one data structure which I can use would be the map or unordered map to store all the frequencies, right? But after that, how should I approach it? What data structure I should use? So let's identify it, right? So we understood till here that first anyways, first we need to calculate the frequency of each and every element, right? And for that we can simply use map or unordered map sort of data structure to to compute this table for us, right? Okay, fine, we got this. Now we have every element which is mapped with these frequencies. What else? Now what I should use? So I can see that then we need to print the element which is occurring at most number of times, like maximum number of times. So this is giving me the idea of max heap, right? Because, or also, like, I can sort this map on the basis of values, but that again would cost a lot of complexities, so I don't want to go over that, because there are several ways to solve a particular problem, but I want you to think in a heap way, because this problem is very good to design in that perspective, right? So I just need to print the element which is occurring the max number of times, and then I am getting the idea of max heap. But let's try that it will really help or not, and the identifications element which I have already explained, will they are working or not. So the first identity element is sorting, right? The sorting could solve our problem, but in this case we can see that by sorting this elements, the array would look something like this, and so on. And this basically not solve our problem. I mean, it will solve our problem. After that we need to do some computations and all, but that, however, we don't need to go into that mode. So sorting could solve it, but again it's complex after that, right? So I'm just consider it as no for now. Then is k given? Is anywhere k given to us? No, k is also not given, so I'm not getting any kind of hints that I should use heaps, right? Third is like, is there any smallest or largest thing is asked, topest, right? And those similar synonyms word which you can think of. So it's not explicitly mentioned in the problem statement, but we can see that I need to print the maximum number of maximum the element which has the maximum count, right? First, right? So I can get a hint slightly about that, but still it's not completely sure to use that. But I'm getting small hint that I should use heap, right? And after that also, like, as I explained, that using after calculating the frequency of each and every element, I'm getting the idea of using the max heap. So let's try that out once, right? So let me erase all these stuff first. Okay, right, great. So okay, we just calculate the frequency of each and every element. Fine. What I should do, as my simple idea is to use max heap, because I need uh, the element which is occurring at the most number of times to be at the top, and then second one, and then third one, and then so on, like that, right? And that suffice our uh, problem statement, and direct it towards the heap data structure, right? Because internally it is cbt, and if I will remove the element which is occurring at the most number of times, so after that the next element which is among all happening or going through the most number of times, it will come. So that's why I thought of max heap, right? Okay, fine. But so no, like, max heap is just for getting the maximum value out of all the elements, right? And after that, if we'll remove it, the next maximum element will come. Great. How should I handle this such cases? Right, like if element is coming the same number of times, then what I should do? Because in max heap, if I'll just simply put its value to its the frequency to its value, and the frequency to its value, then this will come first in max heap, right? Because after this has been evaluated, if these twos are same, then internally it will check the other value, and other value is this one bigger, so this will directly comes up. So what I should do in maxi, I'll say fine, don't no need to worry, because I've already taught you in my previous video how to create a custom comparator, right? I already taught you how to create a custom comparator, so you can write your structure or lambda function to adjust your use case on the basis of that. So you also no need to worry about it, just simply calculate the frequencies, and after that define a priority queue which does that part for you, and then we are good to go. When we store all the uh, frequency and actual value in the priority queue, for sake I'm just writing pq, right? And after this kind of data structure is already mapped, once this kind of structure is mapped in our priority queue, then we just need to simply extract out the top value always, and then store it in our answer vector. That might solve our answer, right? So in this way, it will uh, solve our problem, and it is pretty efficient. I'm not saying not there could be other approach as well, but this one is, it looks great, and the purpose of learning heaps is also fulfilling in that. So fine, let's move to the uh, code, and let's go through it one by one and line by line how we can achieve it. Fine, okay. So, like, first of all, no need to be scared by just seeing this much of code. It is very easy. Trust me, it is very easy. It's not that difficult. If I'm also, writing all these stuff so that you will also have a glimpse. If you are learning C++, then you will also able to understand that, okay, how this is working and how should write it. Because most of the people don't know how to write it, right? That's the main problem. If you know how to write it, then you will start exploring it also. So the writing all this stuff is not to scare you, but also to teach you that you can also explore more about it and create more language proficiency. uh, it's upon you, but my motive is that, right? So initially what I did, I created a type definition, and then I said that, okay, wherever you will find vector of int, you can just simplify it by type, like vector of, like, type is equals to vector of int in simple cases, right? Okay. This is the comparator which I have defined, or the predicate which I have defined for my maximum heap, right? So if you don't understand this, right, you can also see my previous video in which I have explained how to write a custom comparator in heap, right? So that's a very informative video. If you want to watch, I'll share the link in the description. After that, you can see this is a vector, right? Because I have already defined it here, so don't get confused with, hey, you need to define an array or vector. I have already defined it, or I have done the type definition for it. So I have declared a static vector in which I have arrays, right? After that, I created an answer vector in which I will be storing, and at the end I will be printing the answer. Okay. What I did then, I created an unordered map or hash, then which will which is used to store the frequency of each and every element in this static array. Then I calculate the frequency. I hope this is clear, right? I believe you guys must know about this, how to create how to calculate the frequency of each and every element, right? After that, here comes the important part, right? You created a table of elements, right? You can see like till here what you did, you calculate 8 is 3 times, 8 is coming 3 times, 2 is coming 2 times, 5 is coming 2 times, and 6 is coming 1 time. Till here, right, this table has been created. After that, what you did, you already defined a max heap, right? And this max heap, how it is behaving internally is that if the first element is equal, right, how I will store in max heap is basically on the basis of value and then key. Like in this frequency array, what I was doing, I was just calculating the frequency per each value, right? But in the priority queue or in the max heap, what I will do is I will put this max value or the frequency value as the starting value, and this key as the second value, right? Why I am doing this? Because after that, the element will be on the top, which is coming at most number of times, right? So I hope you get the glimpse, a small about it, right? So yeah, so what I'm doing is I can see that first I calculate the frequency. Till here my this table is created. After that, what I'm doing is I am iterating over this frequency hash, then I'm storing its second value first, and then I'm storing its first value. Like this frequency, I'm storing it as first, and then its actual value, right? Why? Because I already said, like, it's then, the max heap, the CBT, which will form internally, the maximum element which has the element which has the maximum frequency will arrive at the top, and I can just take it out and do whatever I want after that. So I just store it in my max heap. After that, once I stored all the elements in the max heap, what I did, I just iterate over this complete binary or heap, and I just remove the top element, as I said that I will be taking out this top, and then this is top 0. I'm storing the vector, right? This internally creates a vector. So just don't get confused that, okay, what is this 0 and all. It just, like, defining inside the values, it gives us the vector. So this is also learning for some people, if you don't know, right? So this top is a vector, which is a single node, right? You can just think of, and then top 0 is the value, which is 3, right? 3 is the top 0, and it's getting decremented in the while loop, and as many as time it decremented, I'm getting the top one, which is 8. So I'm just storing in my answer vector, I'm storing 8 3 times, right? After that, this loop will gonna break. After that, 2 will come because I have wrote the condition. 5 will not come. You will say that, hey, it is a max heap, so 5 should come. No, 5 should not come, because if the values are equal, right, if 2 and 2's are equal, right, then automatically max heap says that next element should be evaluated, which is 5 and 2, so 5 should come first. But I said no. If if the values are equal, like 2 and 2's are equal, right, then the smaller element should come first. This defines the min heap, right? So smaller element comes first. So that's how the 2 will come, and then so on, and all the elements should be pushed properly inside my answer vector. And after that, I'm just simply just copying all the and printing all the answers in my values, right, in my answer vector. So, and just like simply run it. So this is a very interesting problem, by the way, because most of the companies, ask it, and I'm getting the proper output as I have, as it should be, right? So I hope I had some small value in it, and if so, then thank you so much for watching. I hope you will have a great day. Thanks.